What we pour into our children often returns to fill us. A hungry season can test a full belief. If someone always sees, even the dark becomes honest. This is a re-recording of an episode first published on November 12, 2021. It has been almost a year since we published the first version of this story. We VA listened to your feedback, and we so glad you VA been on this journey with us. We hope you enjoy this new recording. Every night in a small village, a father tucked his son into bed and told him stories. He spoke of right and wrong as if they were paths on a map, of mercy as a lamp for the feet, of truth as a door that never sticks. One evening he said, "Son, God is everywhere. He sees everything and everyone. Nothing is hidden from him." The boy's brow creased. "Father, you say God is everywhere, but I cannot see him anywhere." The father smiled softly. "We do not see him with our eyes, but he sees us, our deeds, our words, even the secrets in our hearts." Time passed. Then the sky forgot to rain. Dust rose where crops should have risen. The father's field cracked like an empty cup. He had nothing to harvest, nothing to sell, and only a little grain left to stretch over many days. Worry pressed on him the way a heavy door leans on its hinges. He kept trying. He patched fences for a neighbor. He carried water from a distant well. He sold an old tool, but the coins came slow, and the hunger came fast. At last, one moonless night, he stood in the doorway, looking out at the sleeping village and the silent, ruined field. "Come," he whispered to his son, "we are going out." They walked along the footpath, past the dry canal, past the trees that remembered better seasons. They stopped at a neighbor's farm where the ground, fed by a deep well, still held green. The father lifted his son into the fork of a low branch. "Sit here," he said gently. "If anyone comes anyone at all, call out to me." He stepped into the rows. He bent to gather a small armful. His hands hovered over the crop. "Father, wait." The boy's voice cut through the stillness like a bell. The father straightened quickly. He searched the shadows, the path, the edge of the field. No lantern glow, no shape moving, only crickets, only breath. "Who is there?" he asked, scanning the dark. "Where?" "I see no one." The boy's eyes were wide but steady. "Someone is watching us," he said. "Who?" the father asked again, baffled. The boy drew a careful breath. "You told me God is everywhere. You said he sees every deed. If he sees us here, how can we take what is not ours?" The father stood very still. The words he had planted had grown into a tree right above him. In his hunger, his belief had thinned. In his son's mouth, it thickened again. The night felt bright with a witness he could not see but could not deny. His hands fell to his sides. He went back to the tree and lifted his son down. Together they walked home, the moon, a white coin, traveling the sky. The well in his chest suddenly deeper than the one in the neighbor's field. At their door, the father knelt so his eyes met his son's. "Tonight, you reminded me of what I taught you," he said, voice low and clear. "I almost forgot the lesson when it mattered most. Thank you, my son." In the days that followed, the father chose a harder path, but a cleaner one. He woke before dawn to look for work. He swept the schoolhouse yard. He mended a broken gate. He hauled water for the old and the ill. He taught his son to count each coin, not just with his fingers, but with his conscience. When the boy asked, "Will this be enough?" the father answered, "We will do what is right, and we will trust the rest." Some afternoons were long. Some nights they split one flatbread and called it yet there was a peace in their small house that the famine could not starve. The boy noticed it first. The way the air felt light when they told the truth. The way sleep came easily when the day had been honest. Word traveled, as it always does in a village. People saw the father work without complaint. They remembered he had not touched what wasn't his when no one was watching. A neighbor paid him to repair a fence. Then another asked him to dig a trench to the well. Coins gathered like patient drops. One evening, that same neighbor whose field had been green knocked on their door with a small sack of grain. "For your son," he said simply. "You have earned my respect." When the rains finally came, the village ran outside to greet them. Dust turned to dark earth. Seeds swallowed water and hope at the same time. The father and son stood by their own field and let the rain soak their hair, their shirts, their worries. The father looked down at his boy. "Do you see?" he asked. The boy nodded. "We waited," he said. "We did not steal. God saw us," the father smiled. "Yes, and we saw him not with our eyes, but in the way right choices make a straight road, in the way help arrives at the right time, in the way sleep feels sweet when the day has been clean." Years later, when the boy was older and the famine a story told on cool nights, he would remember that walk to the neighbor's field. He would remember the tree branch, the stillness, the choice, And when he taught his own child that God is everywhere, he would also say, and because he sees us, we must live as if every step leaves a clear print.